Hey guys, Allegorix here with episode 4 in the Tarkov Arena Guide series. You guys have been asking for this one for a while now, so I am super happy to present to you the Road to Mouse. We have gone down an assault tree before, but the Road to Mouse offers some unique experiences we have not yet seen in this series. I know we just got done with Ratatouille, so I will try to keep the mouse and rat jokes to a minimum, but I certainly won't be making any promises. Make sure to check out each section to pick up some tips and tricks along the way. If you like the videos, please consider subscribing to the channel to help me know if you are liking the content and for the almighty algorithm. All right, without further ado, let's jump into the video. We are taking a little trip back on over to the Assault tab for episode 4, where we will be starting with Guard and traveling all the way down to our pal, Mr. Squeakers, aka Mouse. As we move down the tree, our strengths will lie in our ability to pack a punch with high-value ammunition and our superior weapon sights, which will allow a lot of flexibility on the battlefield down the road. We also get grenades with every preset through Mouse, and we are pretty well off with headphones. For those of you who know me, I notoriously play a lot of classes without them and often cannot hear a damn thing. As for our weaknesses, we will suffer on the med spread as compared to a lot of other preset trees at similar levels, and it does take a little bit for us to hit our turning point in our power level, but more on that as we move along. Before we find ourselves scurrying around the battlefield as Mouse, we must first begin our journey with Guard. I do want to apologize first off, as I did lose all of my original Guard game footage. I spent some time trying to recover it, but to no avail, unfortunately. I did, however, jump into a couple of games as Guard to try and get some new footage, and really the only thing he guarded me from was having a good time. I got smacked around hard.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.
I've got to get out of here. Out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Guard is our starter class and begins unlocked. He costs 46,900 rubles to play and is valued at 179 meta points. Being a starter preset, we do get our expected bare bones kit, which is comprised of a bare naked SKS shooting US ammo, which makes me want to absolutely throw up, and a paperweight in our side holster. We do actually get a level 4 armor, which is huge at this level, so you will be pretty tanky in lower meta point lobbies. We get half of a cheese kit over here for healing, 2 bandages, an S mark, splint, and 180-second painkillers, so just regular level 1 stuff. Then to top it all off, we get an F1 frag grenade, which is pretty nice. You will find some partial saving grace in the presets on this tree where some things may be lacking, in that every single class does get a frag grenade. Some of the tree lines, you do miss frag grenades here and there, but you can always rely on having a grenade in this tree, so that is a nice little bonus. Not a whole lot more to say on Guard, to be honest. For starter classes, when I played in likewise lobbies, I did great. Anything outside of that and what you're seeing in these clips here, the value does dip down quite significantly. I mean, you are shooting semi-auto iron sight 20 round mags with US ammo. I mean, you can't really hope for too much out of that when you're facing a bunch of really high level kits, but like I said, in a regular level lobby, it is totally fine. I found myself relying quite a bit on my grenades, killing AFK people, or just being the support class, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. So it's a fun class, run around, pink, 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 and that's pretty much it. You'll only have to play Guard for a couple of games before unlocking your next preset, so not a lot to worry about there if that is not your style. Now that we have finally left our Guard duty, we come up to our second preset, where we have a rat named Nick. Oh, Ratnik here really is just a better Guard, simple as that. While I have to say this is not my style of preset personally, they did a really good job on the progression points between these two presets. There's no significant jump in power here while still giving everything about guard a bit of a boost. Ratnik requires 22,900 XP to unlock, he costs 70,500 rubles to play, and has a meta value of 278. Now, I would not classify this preset as something I would play on a budget in the higher meta point lobbies, simply because it does not have anything strong enough going for it to be able to take advantage of the more powerful kits like some other classes do in other trees. Your armor won't really stand up, and unless you're a headshot wizard,
Hello there.
your time to kill will be dreadfully slow. However, when you are playing in this level lobby, I expect that you will do great. We are still sitting on semi-auto technology and take a slight downgrade in armor to the level 3 Karasa, but now we get to have 3 30-round mags of PS shooting out of the AK-545. Better iron sights in my opinion. We get a usable sidearm in the Gratch, I don't know. I still can't say it right. A better med spread as well. We still have to deal with the 80-second painkiller, which is kind of a pain, no pun intended. But we do get 150 healing, a cat for heavy bleeds, and a P22 injector, which just gives our health and vitality a little bit of a boost for 60 seconds. Nothing wrong with that. We still get a grenade, which is nice. Normally, I will recommend grenades be used to flush people out later in the rounds, but in the case of the RGD5s, I do generally use them early and throw towards common lineups because the fuse timer allows it to get there and explode at the right time on the ground to catch more people off guard. While Ratnik is a great improvement upon guard, I still think there's nothing too special about the class, although it is a very well-rounded and balanced preset, and I do give kudos to BSG for that. If we had this kind of progression for all of the classes in the game, we'd be looking at a very, very balanced game, which unfortunately at the moment it is not. Guard and Ratnik do, however, act as a pretty good stepping stone into the rest of the preset tree itself, allowing for pretty natural progression. With that being said, let's see what we are stepping into next. We now leave our buddy Nick the Rat behind and find ourselves on the Ram Ranch. I commend those of you who got that reference. Anyway, with the Ram Ranch, we find ourselves on the upswing from the previous two classes, as this preset bridges the gap between what I think is the turning point for this tree. While this preset itself is not a huge upgrade from Ratnik, actually a bit of a sidestep in a lot of ways, we are about to break into some greatly kitted guns, better ammo, optics, and armor with the upcoming presets. The Ram Ranch requires 54,100 experience to unlock, costs 105,900 rubles to play, and has a value of 375 meta points. We are equipped with the VPO shooting 7.62 PS ammo with 3 30-round mags, which really isn't all that bad. Our backup is the Grinch, which shoots PST, and we get a nice upgrade in armor protection with a level 4 thorax and stomach from the 6B23 armor, as well as a level 4 ZSH helmet, which does in fact block our hearing once more. For med spread, we have 100 healing from the cheese kit, a cat, 2 bandages, and we continue our trend of less than stellar pain killers. We do get a Meldonin with this preset, however, so make sure you are taking advantage of the stamina recovery and endurance it offers every round. You should pop this right away because it will last the entire round no matter what. The Ram is just about everything I want in a low mid to mid tier operator, even though his weapon is only semi-auto. The gun is easy to control, he has a good optic and foregrip combo, and he offers solid protection against a lot of ammo. Popping the Meldonin allows you to be mobile and play a little bit more aggressively or perform more efficient movements and flanks if you would like. Comparing him to the other side of the assault tree at the same meta point level, where we find Stiletto, all I can say is, well, I'm happy to be on the Ram Ranch rather than being trapped in that dungeon again. Now with that image fully seated back in our minds, let's hop on down to the next one. So, now that we've made our way out of the ranch, we find ourselves with Teen Wolf. Finally, lads, we hit that sweet power corner I was talking about. If you were apprehensive about this tree before, just know that this is where the seeds you sowed with guard begin to bloom. The rooster is a crowing, so wake up and reap those rewards. Werewolf requires 156,000 experience to unlock, costs 133,100 rubles to play, which is a very small amount more than the previous preset, and is valued at 459 meta points. We stay in our level 4 armor and helmet, but we do get headphones in the M32s, which is a total breath of fresh air. Our weapons get a huge upgrade in that we are now fully auto, baby. We got the very solid suppressed AK-101 with a decent optic and foregrip, and 4 30-round magazines of 8.56A1, so you can now more reasonably contend with level 4 armors. Our sidearm gets upgraded to the Glock 17, shooting AP-63s, making it a very viable backup option. Rounding it all out is an F1 frag grenade, which is great for early lane throws or flushing people out later on in the fight. The AK-101 is very easy to control, and I always felt like I was able to easily maneuver around with this preset. I felt very mobile and like I could take any gunfight real quick with pretty good odds of success. Our staying power in longer gunfights is not too good. Some of that has to do with the meds. Werewolf suffers here similarly to how the previous presets did, and that is with his painkillers. So let's take a look at the rest of the meds first. We do get a 225 health IFAK for light bleeds and healing, which is about average, not too bad. We get 2 aluminum splints and 2 Calloc Bs for heavy bleeds, which is also not too bad. Our injector is fine with the P22, so we get a little health and vitality boost, but note that it still offers no pain removal. Now, here we are with our painkillers. We get a single 80-second painkiller, same as we have as on Guard, Ratnik, Ram, and now here with Werewolf. I'll take a little time to talk about this some more. If anything is going to keep these classes out of upper A tier presets, it is these painkillers. Plenty of other classes at these meta point levels are getting much better pain management, so make sure that when you are running these classes, if you are popping these at the start of the round, make sure you're pushing with purpose, be quick and offensive in your firefights, try to be efficient with your time, because trust me, when you run out of that painkiller and you start limping around and you need to get somewhere quick, you are going to have an absolutely horrible time, and that's just no fun. I definitely found myself personally suffering later on in rounds when I didn't have those painkillers, especially if I did sustain those injuries earlier in the round, causing me to limp or give away my position with my heavy ass breathing. What I would probably recommend more often if you're not super aggressive is to save these for at least halfway through the round. If you can get to a position and hold it, even if you do sustain a leg injury, for example, you can keep holding that position for now and pop those painkillers when it is time to move later on, especially when the timer is starting to count down to the objectives. I would start getting used to this method now, because honestly, this area does not really improve very much at the last preset. Phew! I know that was a lot of info for just some painkillers, but I really want you guys to know the negative sides of these classes too. As much as I try to highlight the strengths of all the classes, I really want to try and reflect how I felt when I was using them. I will talk a little bit more about this at the end of the video, so let's go ahead and wrap up Werewolf and move on to the next one. Alright, no longer are we an angsty teen drama from the ancient age of 2011. Teen Wolf... What? No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep thinking of that show. I've never even seen a single episode of it, but I'm sure my 99.9% male audience between the ages of 24 and 35 who have definitely all watched it will absolutely appreciate it. Any Hootie and the Blowfish, another great reference. We have arrived to Pharaoh. Pharaoh brings some real spice to the relationship. He requires 294,000 experience to unlock, he costs 186,100 rubles to play, and is valued at 578 meta points. We finally get our big boy pants in the form of the level 5 Gen 4 armor on our thorax and stomach, and we get the best of both worlds between the Ram and Werewolf, in that we get ear protection at level 4 and also Sword headphones. Say it ain't so. We finally get some meat on our bones, and now you can seriously take on a lot of ammo out there. For the rest of the kit, we have the powerful AK-74 shooting 3 30-round magazines of 7 and 40, which will tear through a lot of armors, and we have a 60-round backup mag of BT ammo. I didn't really find myself using it too much, but it is a good option to have. 1, just to serve as more ammo if you find yourself in a lot of fights, and 2, it can serve as a great mag to start the match with if you're not against a lot of tanks and want to sustain longer firefights with that 60-round mag. Rounding out the offensive, we have the RGD-5 frag grenade, which, like I said before, is great for beginning of round lane throwing due to its lengthy fuse timer. For our med spread, we have 3 aluminum splints, 3 Calloc Bs, and a full IFAK, which is pretty solid, but we still continue to suffer with these painkillers. I told you guys it doesn't get much better, and apparently BSG just really likes to watch these classes suffer.
listen.
Painkiller saltiness aside, I promise not to spend too much more time talking about that since I already did. I did have a lot of fun playing Pharaoh. Really, this class tree so far had not been my favorite to grind because there's a lot of lateral movement and power level, but with Werewolf and especially Pharaoh, I finally feel like I have a complete kit in my hands. The AK series weapons are fun as hell to play and offer a really good run and gun playstyle if that's what you like. You are quite noticeably more survivable due to the level 5 armor, and that goes a long way in overall performance in a match. I do wish Pharaoh had gotten a little bit more in terms of attachments on his gun, like a flashlight would have made it perfect, but we will have to make do without it for now. Pharaoh is super solid. I really think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Okay, here we are with the penultimate class. We put our Pharaoh days behind us and now we're posting up in Hotel. Okay, I really like Hotel, guys. He brings a lot of versatility, flexibility, and a lot of power to this tree, and he can be an absolute beast on the battlefield when played correctly. Hotel requires 387,000 experience to unlock. He costs 253,400 rubles to play, and is valued at 652 meta points. Our M62 and M61 ammo will make anyone we shoot have a worse day than Daniel Powder did back on January 9th, 2005. For armor, Hotel keeps Pharaoh's level 5 thorax and stomach protection in the Gen 4, and keeps a level 4 head protection with level 3 ears. However, we do lose our headphones, unfortunately. But we do get the sporty Condor ballistic glasses, which, if you were curious, have a 0.01% chance at completely stopping an AP Lapua round. So I'd say that's pretty good. Our first look at Hotel's versatility actually comes in his sidearm. He gets the Glock 18C with 333 round big stick magazines as backup, shooting rip rounds. Not only is this a great fully automatic sidearm to switch to in a pinch, you could easily run it as your main gun and run havoc with the 100 rip rounds it comes with, offering you a completely different way to play the class. Leg meta is absolutely your friend here if you're going to go this route. Overall, it does serve as a great way to support our limited mag size of 20 rounds. Also, if you wanted to take the time, you could take the flashlight off the Glock and you can put it on the Mark 17 to upgrade it just a bit. Speaking of the Mark 17, this thing is strong. Good starting hollow optic and a great foregrip make it pretty easy to control considering how big the rounds are that are coming out of it. You also get a backup sight in your rig, the Elcan Spectre 1x4x scope. Do not underestimate this sight. The viewport is clean and precise up to any range I was able to test and does not force you to only be on 4x, so it can easily replace the starting hollow sight if you prefer this one. One small thing to note is that you do lose some peripheral visibility when scoped in with this compared to that starting hollow. When I played on Sawmill, this was the only sight I would use. It was insane. You can run and gun, or you can easily transition into a support/sniper class for long-range encounters. This is mostly what I did when playing this kit on that map. This is the versatility and flexibility I was really talking about. We all know that Sawmill can be a pain in the ass to play, but playing Hotel on it made it the most fun I have ever had playing on that map by a long shot. So taking a look at the med spread, we do get 3 aluminum splints and a full 400 health AFAC for healing, which is actually pretty great. For injectors, we have Perfotorin to stop and prevent bleeds for 60 seconds, and with the added benefit of passive health regeneration. On top of that, we get an adrenaline for pain removal and prevention, and even more health regeneration. This is by far the best med spread we have in this tree. The AFAC offers a ton of healing, but we still need to use the injectors wisely. Even as powerful as they do only last 60 seconds. Again, make sure you're using them appropriately to your situation. Pushing aggressively, pop them at the start, go crazy. More reserved or playing longer rounds, go ahead and save them for later. At least the injectors can be used much more quickly than the other meds, so they are a lot easier to save for the mid to late round. Don't underestimate the power of health regeneration during the radiation phase. Again, I loved playing Hotel. Even though we get limited in our magazine sizes, once you adapt to that, you will find that other aspects of the class will just make up for it. Get caught in the open having a firefight? Well, you better hit your shots because just about every other class, even those with the same ammo type, have much more ammo than you. So with that being said, love Hotel, definitely suffers in a few areas that other classes just simply outshine him in. Unfortunately, that's just the balance of the game right now, but he does force you to play a little bit smarter and a little bit more tactically, which I think for the player is a lot better because it allows you to hone your skills a little bit more at the game and make you an overall better player. The only thing that would make this class perfect to me is to have some headphones, but I am a sound whore, so, you know, jump on into the battlefield with Hotel and you will bring your enemies back to the lobby. And here we are, finally, to Mr. Squeakers, better known to the common folk as Mouse. So, Mouse is an interesting one, guys. I traveled down this road really looking forward to it and wanting to love it. I'm not saying I didn't like the class or that it's bad, so why don't I just explain? But first, Mouse requires 399,000 experience to unlock. He costs 257,700 rubles to play, only about 4,000 rubles more than Hotel, and he's valued at 689 meta points, which is honestly super high, as only a couple other classes in the game are higher and just barely. It calls to question just how exactly the meta points are calculated on BSG's end, perhaps something I will conduct more research on for a future video. Alright, so why did I give Mouse such a pitiful intro? Well, let's take a look at what he's bringing to the field. For armor, Mouse has a level 3 helmet that covers the top and nape, while Hotel offers level 4 to those same areas and level 3 to the ears. Mouse does get a bit of an upgrade to his armor, seeing how he has a level 6 hex grid as opposed to the level 5 from Hotel, but it only covers the thorax. While the thorax is a very important piece of your body that you want to protect, we do lose protection entirely from our stomach, which is not nothing. And with the changes to the armor system coming, this will be even worse in the future unless they make changes to his armor loadout. And now, while the round glasses do win in style, and I do love them, they are objectively worse than just having a little extra protection in the form of the condors that Hotel has. It's just one of those other little things that sticks out to me. The med spread is basically the same as Hotel, just trading out the Perfotorn injector for 3 Calog Bs, so I will not spend too much time talking about the meds. For his guns, Mouse has a fully automatic SA-58 shooting M62s out of 5 20-round mags, which is nothing to scoff at, and he shoots SS-190 out of his backup FN-57 pistol, which actually, if you guys didn't know, is my favorite pistol in the game. Also, for the SA-58, we keep similar flexibility and essentially have 3 sights to choose from. We have the starting hammer sight for standard 1x and an optional zoom, and we also have a backup hollow sight in our rig that we can replace it with, allowing us a similar playstyle changeup as we did with Hotel. So, I still haven't really answered your question of why are you so down on Mouse? Maybe you put it together by now, but I'm kind of disappointed, guys. Everything we just went over is basically what Hotel already has, and in many cases was actually better. Downgraded helmet, although we get headphones, less body protection overall, and where Mouse has 5 mags of M62, Hotel has 4 of them, but also 1 mag of M61, which is a much better ammo type. I find myself putting the M61s in my starting mag and just tear through people right off the bat. The med spread is basically the same, except I do prefer the Perfotorn over the Calog B. The Calog B does offer more options to get rid of those heavy bleeds, but if you're using the Perfotorn correctly, it's not only faster to apply, it gets rid of all of your bleeds and prevents any in the future for 60 seconds. On top of that, it's more health regeneration passively. So I think if you're using your meds smartly, the Perfotorn is just better here. Hotel's sidearm is also a lot more versatile, with more ammo and fully automatic, and I think that versatility is what really makes this class special, and I think that's really what's worth working towards here. But okay, you heard me rag on Mouse enough. He is a good kit, really, but I just think he's being outshined by his predecessor, Hotel, much like I believe Haymaker is overshadowed by Nightmare. They cost almost exactly the same to run in the field, so I will find myself running Hotel over Mouse more often than not. I could absolutely be missing something, and please let me know your thoughts on this, but I definitely expected a little bit more from Mouse. Was the grind still worth it? Yeah, definitely. This tree offers a lot of cool options that none of the other ones do, even within the Assault tab itself, and I think it's really worth your time. There are no glaring issues with it, and it serves to many playstyles and allows you to contend with the hefty armor classes that are out there. So give Mouse a try, see if you like it. And if you've been using him already, share with me some of your insights and tips you might have. I would love to hear them. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and close the book on our arena guide to Mouse and wrap it all up in the summary. So real quick before my closing thoughts on this tree, let's take a look at everyone's favorite, the math. In total, to unlock Mouse, it will take you gathering 1,313,000 experience, which is very comparable to most of the other trees we've looked at. We are looking at about an average of about 12,000 experience per game, which for this tree comes out to about 110 games or roughly 37 hours of in-game time, given that each match averages about 20 minutes, including load time. Mileage will vary on this, like always, depending on performance and length of matches, but you could easily get this class in much less time than the 37 hours if you are consistently doing well. So the road to Mouse. My thoughts on it as a whole are that it has some solid presets and a few of them offer some fun gameplay, and you do get a lot of flexibility towards the bottom of the tree. Also in this tree, we have a lot of extra classes that branch off of the main trajectory down to Mouse. So let's take a look at those real quick in presets over in Assault. So after Guard and Ratnik, you have the option to play the Bunker over the Ram. You also have an option instead of going Werewolf, you can go through Rock and Roll, which leads into Marine and into Lance. So a lot of options there. It doesn't just dead end at Rock and Roll. After Pharaoh, instead of going Hotel, you can go Squall, which actually is pretty powerful. You get the Ash 12 with PS12B ammo, which is just really, really solid. You can melt people very quickly with this. So absolutely nothing wrong with Squall, and it leads to a pretty fun class and a pretty unique one actually in Eraser. So maybe we'll take a look at these in later videos. Obviously we talked about it a lot, but we definitely suffer in the med department as far as the painkillers, as I stated. Just make sure you're always thinking about how to best utilize your meds for each situation. This does not make this tree bad by any means, so don't get me wrong, but it just means you have to be more efficient and more smart with what you have. And like I said earlier, I think that actually lends itself to making a better player. Let me know if you agree. I can't help but to compare these classes to other trees like Butcher, Guardian, Brigadier, and all these others who all have high-level ammo and body armor like Mouse, but also excel in superior head and face protection, gun attachments like flashlights, magazine girth, size, and just better med spreads. If we were making a tier list, I would definitely seat the Mouse tree as a whole in the lower A level, like right at the bottom of A, right behind Haymaker, I would say. Maybe I'll make an official tier list one day, we'll see. This was my experience playing these kits. They have a lot going for them, and while this tree will not be my first pick, I think it is reasonable to see why it might be someone else's. If you started to get interested around the Ram and Werewolf, then I would say that you will like this tree a lot, and it's definitely worth the grind for you, if anything, just to have a lot of options open to you down the road. All right, so that is all I have for you guys today. I do want to add in really quick for those of you interested, I will be streaming again on Twitch. So come on by and say hello. I'm going to be on there every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out and chat while we grind some kits. And eventually we're going to do some viewer games and tournaments. So it's going to be super fun. I cannot wait. As always, these videos really do take a lot of time to put together. I'm really grateful for all the love and support that I've gotten on these videos in the past few weeks. So please continue to show that support by liking the videos and subscribing to the channel and sharing. It really does help with the algorithm, and it is the best and most direct way for you guys to show me what you like, what you're not liking, so that I can keep producing the best content possible. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, or if I missed anything down in the comments. I do love reading them. With all of that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Until the next one, peace.